domination of man over woman is the result of sin. Jesus came to restore the dominion that the enemy stole in the Garden of Eden. If it was a certain gender, they were treated differently. If it was a certain class, people were treated differently. When we began to open up our minds and not be limited by the traditional roles of women under the law. How many of you know the law is dead? Sin has no dominion over us. For we are not under the law, ladies. We are under grace.
Join forces with Taffy Dollar for a radical revolution at the 2017 Women's Conference, March 16th through 18th in Atlanta, Georgia. As a Bible-based message on equality emerges, we all have a part to play. Purchase your tickets online today while space is still available.
I gotta get my women back to their rightful place.
Good morning. This is World News, all you need to know about what's going on here at World Changers Church International. I'm Charlotte Wheeler.
Members of the Home Fellowship Ministry generally meet at their group leaders' homes about once a month, and those groups are set up according to where our members of World Changers live. So if you live in, say, Fayetteville, you'd meet with about 15 to 20 people right here in that area. There's also groups in Riverdale, Marietta, Austell, and these groups sometimes split up for special occasions.
We're fired up and ready to do this, and we know that one person who's also fired up and ready for kids, and that's Adrian. Why are you so involved in this?
It's now 5 months into the investigation, and the Florida Highway Patrol believes this is the car that struck Rhonda Andahar. Now the hard part for them is trying to find out who was behind the wheel.
The former Red Oaks housing community near College Park is all boarded up now, shut down in November of 2002 to make way for new homes. It had been Deanna Boykin's home for 9 years until she moved out last August.
On a daily basis in our community, we would see shooting. We would see guys running through the backyards, and even sometimes through the apartments. If you left your door open, they would just run straight through, running from the police. And it was hard to be a Christian and bringing your children up in that environment. You're trying to explain to them, okay, no, this is not the right way. This is not the way that we should live. But, you know, we just have to put our trust and faith in God and just believe that He will bring us out.
Deanna Boykins is a single mother of 8. 3 daughters and 5 sons. She says her kids learned how to build up their faith with the help of Judah Generation, an outreach ministry offered through World Changers Church International's children's ministry.
Everybody wanted to talk about God, and they would be explaining some of the scriptures, you know, that they learned. They would always come back and say they know things would change, you know, in our situation and in our circumstances, and how God is a good God. They loved it.
Judah Generation picks up young people ages 6 through 14 in communities similar to Red Oaks, such as this string of apartments on Simpson Road in Atlanta, and brings them to campus 3 Saturdays a month so they can eat breakfast, play lots of games, and hear the Word of God.
They see drugs, they see alcoholics, and they see all these kind of things, and it is a way of life. They begin to act it out as they grow up. And so it's so important for us to be there for their lives and let them know there is another way.
Not even our nation's military is immune to the wrath of a hurricane like Opal. The storm unleashed $160 million worth of damage at Eglin Air Force Base and Herbert Field back in 1995. It could have been worse if the bases didn't have solid strategies mapped out or mastered mock exercises like Hurricane Manfred.
We get the information from the National Hurricane Center, and they provide the current position and a forecasted track of the hurricane. We take that information and plot it out, and we provide them with the course of where it's going to hit and what time.
This is the Survival Recovery Center at Herbert Field, and when a hurricane threatens the base, more than 24 airmen set up here for round-the-clock operations.
What our responsibilities start with is monitoring the situation when there's a storm of some type coming up in the Gulf, getting that information out to both the on-base and surrounding area.
Everyone plays a role in that, from the weather experts
You just talk about the winds, how the 65-mile-an-hour winds are affecting us.
to the command teams represented by each department that make decisions for Air Force personnel, their families, and aircraft to head for safety.
There are in-place procedures for everyone, either for evacuation of the installation or, depending upon the storm itself, sheltering of Eglin personnel. It doesn't matter whether they're married, single, everyone is incorporated into that concept.
And out of an estimated 7,000 people who live at Eglin, only 250 used its shelters during Hurricane Opal. That's one indication the word got out quickly here to pack up and leave.
Our greatest key in making this work is information as early as possible to be prepared. That's what we want to do.
Students from Blue Water Elementary School are decked out in red, white, and blue, waiting to cast their ballots.
Most people don't listen to us just because we're smaller, and I think it's good that we just voted so everyone can know what we think.
Fifth graders on down to kindergartners participate in the mock election. Older students even work the polling booths. It's all part of Okaloosa County's Kids Vote program.
We think it's important for kids to understand that it's a right to vote, and it's also a responsibility to vote, and we're excited about their obligations because they take it very seriously.
So that we could choose the right person to be a leader in America.
Students choose from the same candidates on the general election ballot, although a few children admit they forgot whose box they marked. For example, the governor. Do you remember?
No, I don't. I don't remember.
Do you remember who you voted for? But in the end, the goal is to make sure these youngsters will exercise their voting rights in the future when their voice really counts.